I mean, wicked can just be more than just a word, a descriptor word. Like it can be an actual
adjective.
noun.
Barding. Ah.
These
I don't know
things.
any of these things besides
How
Bree's
do you-
hockey
How do you?
journey.
We got our first hater the other day.
Shout out to my dad.
That made me mad. Now I'm triggered.
Oh, and god damn it. What a pro wants. What a pro wants. Hey folks, welcome to episode 91 of the Bread Loves Hockey podcast. And we've got another thrilling day talking about playoffs, of course. That's at the forefront of my mind pretty much every other second of the day. So, very exciting. We got 2 potential elimination games going on as we speak. And we're going to be checking in
I'm watching them
throughout.
both.
Yeah, we got Dean's on the case for that one. I've got the Minnesota Frost at the Ottawa Charge on because that regular season is starting to wrap up.
So the hockey pool is being updated as we speak. I just got a point. From someone.
Nice.
Probably Strome. Strome probably got a point. Or Kucherov, one of those guys.
I hope it's Kucherov.
How many points did you say you had?
2 or 4. No, it wasn't Kucherov. It was Strome. He assists on the Alex Ovechkin power play goal, his 4th of the postseason. That's pretty cool.
That's 10 pool points for him.
10? Yeah, I did not. I just felt like they wouldn't end up moving on, which they still couldn't, but it's not looking good, I guess.
Oh, yeah, you had the sexy upset pick.
Yeah. So that's probably not going to work out well for me either. But
Yeah, I think. Oh no, Drysdale has most points at 16 in the league, and Kaprizov and Aho have 14. McDavid and Ovi have 12.
wow. That's crazy.
Defenders.
Scoring at the same clip as McDavid.
11, and then no one else is in the double digits. Jake Sanderson is 7. He's in second.
Hey, that's pretty good. Did Owen end up taking him? I can't remember.
I don't know.
But yeah, we got lots of interesting games tonight. So we mentioned the 2. Well, I guess the other game being the Tampa and Florida series, and Tampa is currently trying to stave off elimination. They're up 1-0. And then the third game of the night is Game 5 of the Blues and Jets series, and that one's tied up 2-2. So nothing.
And Florida just scored.
Nothing final tonight. Oh,
1-1.
Oh, there we go. Carter Verhaeghe, power play goal. So, all right, putting him on the ropes a little bit. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be recording by the time these games wrap up, but obviously you guys will know what happened.
Florida fans won't be freaking out in the 3-2 series like some other fan bases might be.
No, I don't think so. I don't think they have any reason to panic other than, or besides another team.
Also, they're the away team, so they'd be going back home for Game 6 as opposed to Toronto.
Yeah. Toronto going back to Ottawa like Brady predicted, and then if they go back to Toronto after that, it's like, oh my God, here we go again. All bets are off.
Start with that series.
I think it's the most entertaining series still, especially because it's still going on. Like, it should have been over probably, it seemed, but I mean, like the Sens, we talked about it. Like the Sens have not been playing that badly. Like even in Game 2, they were starting to pick it up after the first period was pretty bad, and then they narrowly lose 2 overtime games. So a lot of fight there, and then they do win in overtime, and then they shut out the Leafs at home. In Toronto for Game 5 to force Game 6. So yeah, big swing there, and definitely, like we mentioned, cause for concern. Like if that happens.
we talked about last week how with Owen, how game one for Ottawa, they were a little overly excited, and it was their first playoff game for most of those guys, and how
12.
Toronto was the calm and collected team, and then these 4 games, Ottawa's just gotten more and more composed, and as you go further, then Toronto starts overthinking because they've been in these situations before, obviously, where they can't close out a series. All the stats where they're 1-13 in series clinching games, and I don't know if you saw. Well, we'll talk about Steve Dangle in a second, but the stat where their last 30 power plays they haven't scored during the last 30 power plays in elimination games they haven't scored. And
Yeah.
I think it was since 2018. In elimination games, their power play has scored once and allowed 2 shorthanded goals.
Yeah, I saw that. That was
Some
rough.
crazy stats.
Two. Oh my gosh, giving up more goals on your own power play in an elimination game. It's just a nightmare scenario, and Toronto fans have just been repeating it over and over in their minds because they're watching it year after year after year. Oh my gosh, it sounds like torture, and it is torture. I mean, it's obviously we're still rooting for that, but you know,
Yeah. It'd be hilarious.
it would be so funny. I'm definitely rooting for the Sens. I think it would be so fun. It would be great for the young group to get the big upset. The younger brother of the Battle of Ontario sort of thing, getting a win.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of like the passing of the torch in Florida, except Toronto hasn't won anything.
yeah, well, we won the Atlantic Division one time, so here you go. I guess
Now let them have it.
I guess that's all we got. We didn't. We won one round, and I guess that was good enough.
Yeah.
And
won 1 game in the second round.
And we're gonna be increasing ticket prices by 20%.
Yeah. So did you watch the Steve Dangle reaction video?
I did.
And what'd you think?
Man, it was pretty cathartic, I guess. There were definitely it was a one taker, so there were just some solid moments of silence and recollection, and it's man, you can just see he's going through it because he's seen this so he knows better than almost anybody what it's like and what this team is about at its core, and what he's been recommending is not coming to fruition. So
Yeah.
he's
Well,
definitely
he was even
distraught.
talking about how it's not even the Maple Leafs had the jitters or whatever. It looks like they just didn't show up, they were playing lazy and all that, not getting beat to loose pucks and things like that. And his whole thing too, where he was hopefully me freaking out ages poorly and this is fine and they win game 6 and there's nothing to it. But obviously
Right
based
now,
on history, it's it doesn't look good, and like like statistically it seems nearly impossible to blow a 3-0 series. But it's well, if anyone's gonna do it, it seems like Toronto's the team.
it's gonna
So,
be Claude Giroux again. It'll be cool. Yeah, he
yeah.
was on that Flyers team in 2010 that upset the Boston. Well, I don't know if it was a upset by seeding. It probably was, but they upset them in the second round, and then they go to the Stanley Cup final. Lose to Chicago with the whole Kane goal that nobody but him knew was in.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't shake the Bruins because then they won the cup the next year. So,
Yep.
yeah, hey, some solace if you're a Leafs fan and it does happen. It's
I would say they have to. It's for the Bruins. It's they figured out they had to know what losing felt like. But I feel like the Leafs have kind of know what losing feels like.
They're we've
Especially big
actually
games.
experienced a lot of these, and it doesn't fucking help at all. It's actually just makes it way, way, way worse. Yeah.
The other thing, Dangle mentioned, was how they've changed so many of the players, the coach, all these things, and how the power play is the thing that's statistically terrible, and that's the one thing that seems to be the most consistent with Matthews, Nylander, Marner, Tavares, all these guys have been part of that power play this whole time. It's
They're always
that's
on that unit, yeah.
the core 4, right? You would think those are your superstars, but in the playoffs they never show up is always the narrative.
Yeah,
I
I
saw a
mean,
funny
it's
like
pretty
some comments
crazy.
on Reddit about how Matthews is the forward version of Hellebuck, and someone was like, "Man, Hellebuck just catching strays everywhere," and someone replied, "At least he's catching something." So
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, I think he's rocking an 817 save percentage right now, heading into Game 5 where they're at home. So we'll see. We'll see how that one. I'm really interested to see how that game goes. I mean, we'll see. I'll probably be able to stay up for that game. I don't think I need to, and if it's a blowout, I'll probably just be done with it and go to bed. But yeah, that should be an interesting one. But before we get to that one, I guess let's just wrap up anything else you have as far as like maybe just the actual on ice play with the Sens and Leafs, because we haven't really talked about that like too much, other
yeah,
than like giving up the shorthanded goal in game 5 there is like a backbreaker. Like yeah, that I mean you just can't have that at this stage. Like in a potential elimination game, you've already lost one of them, so you get a little bit like okay, tonight like we have it tonight. Like we gave them one. We're at home. Like this is it, and then all of a sudden you start spiraling, and yeah, of course it's gonna be in the back of the minds of all of these guys that have been
right.
here.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like the on ice play, I feel like it seemed like the first game or two, the big thing for Toronto was their power play, and then I don't know if the Senators have solved it or what, or like, oh, what if you score on their power play? That's a good idea. But like,
Yeah, no,
besides that, the only other like
they were
theory
good.
I kind of heard. Like, go ahead.
No, they were like 5 for 12 or something like that at one point. Like they were really solid on the power play in the first two games, and
That's
then
like what changed.
I don't. Yeah, great question. Even maybe even the third game, I don't know, but yeah, that's a problem. Um, they
What were the
had
scores? Ooh, was it Marchand?
oh
Ivan Marchand. Oh no, he's going second in line.
well, still making a difference, and the Deans of course rooting for Florida to move on and then move on once more to get that second round pick converted into a first rounder.
And then they can lose.
And then yes, we would love if they lost to Carolina or Washington or maybe Montreal, I guess technically, although it's not looking great.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I guess the only other thing I'll say on like the Toronto series is I was reading like people were like, why does this always happen to the Leafs? And it's like the best theory I kind of heard was how like there's different types of superstars. Like you have like McKinnon and McDavid who can just like turn it on and just like skate around everyone. You have people who can be more physical and like keep people off like from stealing the puck or like I don't know, being more rowdy, get your team like energized, things like that. But like the Leafs superstars just are like they don't have like that special ability. They're just like overall good. So, like when you get to the playoffs and there's less like time and space, it's like that can just affect these guys. They have a little less time to like make these passes and like play their style of game. So maybe that's just part of the issue where it's like when things start getting competitive like that, these guys just can't adapt. Even like Ovechkin, like he just shoots from one spot, but like he has that vision where he can just like still find those little areas of um like open space, and he's not afraid to go to the front of the net. Because the other thing about like the Leafs, they're soft, right? Like they don't
Yeah,
play physical, which you kind of need to do in the playoffs. So it's like I don't know, just some interesting theories. Like people are trying to be like, how does this keep happening? Like it can't just be that they're getting unlucky. Like what is it about the playoffs where like they just stop performing?
it is. I mean, of course, the consistent thing amongst all of these like these failures is yeah the core four pieces, the core five really with Riley. They've had, like I'm trying to think how many different starting goalies have they had, or like goalies that they have played in the playoffs. It's got to be like 5 or 6 different guys. So that's obviously not it. They've had a carousel of defensemen. They've changed so many of the bottom six, the middle six. Like, yeah, that's the constant. They've had a couple different coaches too, so it's just crazy. But I would think like the one player that has that, at least in the regular season, that like special ability would be Matthews to me, as far as like just his shot and his accuracy,
Yeah.
which but it doesn't come to fruition in the playoffs. It dries up. Like, he has not scored very often in this series. I think it's probably been a couple of games since he scored. Um, so I don't know if like some if it's a mental thing or something. It's got to be some sort of a factor at this point. So yeah, hopefully they figure it out at some point, maybe next season. you know, but
Maybe.
we'll see. Hopefully
Uh,
the next games are at least entertaining.
yeah. Well, as we head to the Florida series, Tampa just tied it 2-2.
Oh my gosh,
Still in the first period.
I haven't
And
even gotten an update on that yet.
that has been a series that's been punch for punch. It's like just copying each other, goal for goal, interference for interference,
Yeah. Oh my
injury for
gosh.
injury.
Yeah. Well, which I think it was game. I think it was game three. It might have been game four, but Tampa scores 2 goals in 11 seconds to take the lead, and then Florida later on, they scored 2 goals in like 7 or 8 seconds to tie it, and then take the lead late in the third to end up winning the game. It's like, that is a volatile, crazy like playoff atmosphere. Like, I can't imagine being in that building, and like I think it was in Florida, so it must have been uh game. Well, would have been game two then. Oh no, it would have been either game three or four, because yeah, for some reason I was thinking that they were the top seed, but not
Yeah, I
this
think it was
time.
game three.
Game three, okay.
Did we talk about the hit on or the Hagel hit? Not the hit on Hagel. That comes later.
Mm.
The Hagel hit. Did that happen before we recorded last week?
I
We
think
want to
it.
go through
I think we didn't have time for it, so I think yes. I want to say that happened before we recorded last week, but
Okay. Well, just to recap, I guess
yeah,
Hagel has the interference hit on Barkov. Barkov leaves the game early. Hagel gets a 1 game suspension for that. Barkov ends up playing the next game. Um, I believe it's the next game that, as I think that's the one that, yeah, Tampa is, that's the 1 game Tampa won. As they scored the empty net, Kachuk just bodies Gensel, who was like watching his own pass. Way late hit. No suspension for that.
no,
Um, and then the next game, Ekblad forearm shivers Hagel, and I think Hagel ended up missing game 5 or whatever, like the next game,
yeah, he
and
did.
Ekblad got a 2 game suspension for that. So very feisty back and forth. Um, what are your thoughts on the physical play of this series in particular?
Florida has been very dirty. Like, I like that, especially
That's how they play
The
always.
Ekblad hit. And again, I think Zane and I were chatting about it. Like, I don't think he has been a like historically a dirty player. I think he has a couple of PEDs, and I don't know. Suddenly
Hmm.
he's a rage monster. But yeah, he totally should not have gotten Hagel like that. Like, that was crazy. It was
Also crazy how
completely
there's no
uncalled
penalty on
for.
the play, and then he gets the 2 game suspension. Like they just completely missed the
Yeah, I don't know
the
how
call.
how you don't call a penalty on that. But yeah, refereeing has been not great again. But it's like,
Yeah,
we're always gonna say that. Like, it doesn't matter. We will say it every
into
year,
their
and
microscope
and
in
it
the
will be
playoffs.
true
Yeah,
every year too.
right.
So yeah, it is what it is.
Oh, then this series also had you said you missed it, but it was like 2 Florida players
Oh yeah.
offside by like a mile, and I was like, finally, like that's what this review process is for, not this like nitpicky like you can see a sliver of white between the skate and the blue line kind of thing. Like it was meant for a missed call like that, where it's like, oh, they were way offside, like this goal shouldn't stand, and like the camera pans to the refs and they're already taking their headsets off. Like, yeah, we know, we figured it out. Our
Yeah.
bad.
Which is in contrast to the overturned goal late for Minnesota in Game 5 last night, which Gifford and I were watching, and and yeah, they overturned it for. They initially looked at it for like a kicking motion, but it wasn't a kick, and then Bruce challenged it for offsides, and it was definitely offsides by like half skate or so, but we were joking that it's like Dean probably wouldn't have loved this offsides review. But it obviously completely changed the game for Vegas. They went from being down with like a minute and a half left to being tied, eventually going to overtime, and then winning in overtime pretty quickly, which Gifford and I were also fans of, getting it wrapped up early so we could go to bed because it was like 1 in the morning.
And you got an early game on Thursday.
Yeah, it's been nice. I hope to still not have any overtimes, but if it happens again, it would be nice if they could get it done quickly. Think of your East Coast fans, VGK.
Yeah. Oh, and then the other thing I had on the uh, Florida series I thought was funny was the quote that Paul Maurice was saying that like the only players we hit are the ones with pucks, and then when Kachuk did the same thing to Gensel with the interference, John Cooper had like the same exact quote.
Yeah, and he copies. He tries to like copy the cadence of Maurice. Like you can tell he's like very deliberately
I think
doing that.
Maurice was like, yeah, like good one, like
Hey, okay, you got me. Touche.
Yeah.
So
Anything
yeah,
else on that
and tied up
series?
again. I picked Tampa, so it's not looking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like Florida has just found a couple of moments where they turned it up real quick and they flipped the switch, and suddenly the game's completely out of reach for Tampa. Even sometimes they can get those crazy like down 3 and they come back games, but like for something about Florida recently, it's like they just don't have that same magic.
Yeah. Yeah, I picked Florida in 6. And obviously, like you said, I'm rooting for Florida for the Bruins draft pick, but if that wasn't involved, I'd be rooting for Tampa because, like you said, Florida's dirty and a terrible team, and I hate them.
Well, there you have it. Don't worry, that's Dean's official stance, despite the Bruins pick in play.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we shift to the? Well, I guess we'll talk about the other game that's going on tonight. That series, because that is also a potential elimination game. The Capitals and the Canadians at in DC to close it out. They're still
Yep.
up 2-0 going into the second.
And if the Caps do win tonight, then I would get that right because I have Caps in 5. So
There you go. Yeah, I did not pick them in my.
what do you have
bracket.
or what do you have the Habs in 7?
Uh, I think I had it. I think it was 5. Let me take a look.
I mean, I still think the Caps aren't as good as everyone
6.
thinks, but
I
I
said
figured they could
6.
beat the Canadians. But I think Carolina can beat the Caps and then get swept again in the conference finals by the Leafs.
Oh, don't say it ain't so, Dean.
I mean, I still want the Sens to win, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I haven't watched this series a ton because I feel like they've always been on during the time that other games are on that I'd rather watch. So
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of it. I didn't see Game 4, but I've seen most of the other games in this series. And like the Canadians have had some close games. I think Game 4 was not close, unfortunately. They really didn't have a chance, and it doesn't look great already tonight based on. But I'm not watching the game, so I don't know exactly how the play is. But it doesn't look like they have quite enough in the tank, which it's a lot more experienced team with the Caps. I mean, some of these Canadians have played in the playoffs, but most of them are very young. Like Demidov is 19 years old. Slavkovsky's 21. Goolie's like 22. Like, yeah, these guys are still. They probably shouldn't have been here, kind of thing.
Yeah, I forget what it was. It was like after. I mean, it was on the power play, but like after one of the goals, like the oldest person on the ice in that play was 22 years old.
Yeah,
Very young, but I mean,
crazy.
Again, it's your first time back in the playoffs in a long time, so like you don't expect much, but at least they won a game. Then no sweeps this year.
No sweeps in the
Playoffs,
first round.
so.
But we didn't get all Game 7s, unfortunately, because the Carolina Hurricanes are moving on. They defeated the Devils in double OT last night. A Sebastian Aho overtime winner, which Dean was happy about for his hockey pool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was a crazy
And I mean, they were
game.
all the Canes were all over them for both the overtimes. Like we were talking on Discord while this was happening. I'm like, the Devils are just surviving. Like
They're surviving. They are not thriving.
Connect on a pass. They're dumping it out. They're trying to get like a pass from their own zone into center ice, and it's either getting picked off or like not received by the forward. And it's like Markstrom is the only one keeping them in it. And
Oh, yeah.
funny enough that he's the one that gave up he felt like it was a soft goal. You could see how he smashed his stick after that and was upset with himself. But
Yeah.
I mean, the Devils really tried their best with what they had. They didn't have Hughes. They didn't have three of their defensemen. Like, I mean, they did what they could, but Carolina was obviously the better team on the ice, and now they'll take on perhaps the Caps, and should be a closer series for both of those teams.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's probably gonna be the matchup. Like, honestly, but we'll see. I mean, it would take a lot for the Canadians to win this series. They're gonna have to win 3 straight. But yeah, I think that would be a lot closer. And I don't know. I don't really know who I have. I do think, like, on paper, the Hurricanes are a better team, even though in the regular season they were not as good. They've beaten the Caps before, like when they were the lower seed, because they had that upset in the first round of 2019 where all the home teams won until Game 7, where Carolina wins in DC in overtime, or maybe double overtime. It was one of the overtimes. I don't know. And get the big upset. So I would not be surprised if Carolina moved on.
Yeah, I expect them to. But again, like I'm lower on the Caps than most people, like I said, but the Caps will probably be the favorite. I don't know. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, that will be.
I mean, again, the Hurricanes had 99 points. Caps had 111.
It's not a crazy swing.
The Canes have a better PK. That's it. When you just do the comparison on like the NHL bracket challenge thing. Also, they just had a stat during the Canadiens game. Did you know that Nick Suzuki has never missed a game in his career? 450 regular season games, 37 playoff games.
Wow, that's great. I just saw today that Rod Brind'Amour is the first coach to win at least one playoff series in 7 consecutive seasons.
Oh wow.
So, I mean, it's kind of a curse in that it's like maybe if we could just lose 1 year in the first round and trade up to win
Mm,
in the conference finals and make it to the cup
yeah.
final. Like they haven't been to a finals with him. They haven't won a game in the conference finals, so they definitely need to turn it up when like the going gets tough.
Well, if my prediction comes true, the Leafs also haven't won a game in the conference finals, so someone's gonna have
It's
to.
like, all right, one of you guys. I know you guys don't like winning at this stage, but if you could just do something, figure it out. Like, let's get somebody to move on here. You're gonna lose in the finals to Vegas, but thanks for showing up.
Yeah. Biggest last thing I'll say on that series, like Devils did the right thing trading for Markstrom. They got the goalie they needed, but then they didn't have anyone else to support
They
him.
didn't get that goal that they needed. Yeah,
I don't know how different
again,
it would be if the Oilers had traded for Markstrom, but we'll get to that series
mm,
eventually.
yeah. No Jack Hughes, of course, being the big headline for that
Mm.
one, and like you could see him being a huge difference maker in overtime. Of course, like that completely changes the dynamic. So yeah, um, best of luck to them in the off season. They have a lot of pending UFAs, I believe, so that one will be an interesting one to watch, of course.
Well, let's head to the West. Guess
All
we can
right.
go top to bottom again on the bracket. Starting with the other game happening tonight, Jets Blues. Hellebuck still sucks in the playoffs.
Uh, I'm shaking my head because uh, it's it's just a darn shame. It's like, and he seems to 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 know a lot about goaltending. He like said after or like before one of the games or something. Like, yeah, I've read about goaltending a lot. Like I probably know more about the position than like almost anybody, and yet it just it just doesn't happen when they need him the most, and it's frustrating. Like you see what type of regular season he had, and it's like we know this is a done deal that he's winning the Vezina. He was officially named as a finalist. Well, maybe we can talk about that another time. Um, so it's a disappointment. They are still only tied in the series. They are at home, so they have the home ice here. They got the white out behind them, so hopefully they can find their game, maybe get a couple saves here for once, and close out a close one and
I mean, there's
force
been
elimination.
there's talks about how a lot of the shots are screened, they're getting in front of them, they're getting deflected, but like you still have a save percentage in the low 800s. Like you can only make so many excuses. I'm sure like Hellebuck's not making excuses, but like yeah, I don't know how you're at like a good 900 whatever goalie all year, and then the playoffs happens. Like I know the intensity ramps up and whatever, more screens or whatever, like I said, but like it doesn't make you drop point 0.1 on the save percentage. Like just something up here. But
No.
yeah, I'm hoping Winnipeg won their two home games, the Blues won their home game, so we'll see tonight. Like if the Blues win on the road, then it might just be over for the Jets.
Yeah, which would hurt my bracket challenge a lot because they're my cup champion. But I was
Mm,
like, you know what? Let's go with a crazier pick because if I win, then I get the BLHP stickers, and I already have those.
yeah.
So I'm like, you know
Well,
what? I probably don't need to put in
crazy
a.
pick of picking the President's Trophy winner. That's not that crazy.
Yeah, but they never win, Dean. Remember?
Yeah.
It's been a while. It's been over 10 years. So, yeah, I hope that they win. St. Louis still is looking really good. They they just got to keep pressing. They know what the pressure that Winnipeg's under. Like St. Louis is not feeling pressure at all. So that's a huge benefit for them.
I feel like the Blues haven't even looked that good. It's just that Winnipeg has looked worse. Like even there was like one game, I forget which of the games the Blues won, the more of the blowout one. It's like okay, they looked pretty good in that one, but like the other ones like didn't even look that good. Like just get a couple more saves and it's easy win for the Jets. Like I think Hellebuck playing as poorly is the only reason. Like if he just goes back to playing at like a mid-tier goalie level, then they win the series easily. I feel like
Just do
based on the 5-on-5
something.
play.
Yeah, the Oilers won a couple rounds with Skinner in net. Like, come on. Did you see
Look
how
at
he was
Vancouver
playing?
last year.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you telling me you're not as good as Arthur Shilov's? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Let's frickin' step it up here. So yeah, big game tonight, which starts in about an hour. The next series would be the Colorado and Dallas series, and that one is going to Game 6 back here in Colorado.
Hmm.
And the Avs are on the brink of elimination.
I mean,
Dean, your thoughts?
I've been saying all along this one's going 7, and I think the Avs can win at home. Who knows what happens in Game 7? Like this series is kind of just a coin toss. Like there's always one of those series every year where it's like this could have been the conference finals or the cup or whatever. Like
Yep.
two really good teams. But I'm obviously hoping Colorado can do it. But if the Stars win this series without Heiskanen and a couple of the other guys like Robertson, and they get them back, like I think they're already the favorite to win the cup now. So like that's gonna be a scary team if they survive this. Well, I don't even know if it's survive. They're leading the series, but
Yeah. Yeah, they have found a way. They despite, I mean, I think Rantanen is still not like really showing up for them, but they,
the
yeah.
one goal or assist on the goal. Did he get a goal? I think he got a goal in the game last night, but I know he got an assist on one of them too. So he's getting some points, but yeah, he's still not playing at his level.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the Avs can certainly do it. I had the Avs in 6 in my prediction, so that one's not happening for me. But if they do move on in 7, I guess that would be okay. I don't. I mean, I really am not like a huge fan of either of these teams. I guess the Avs are like starting to kind of grow on me just because Dean's rooting for them. I'm like, well, Dean likes them. I don't
Yeah,
know. I
must be a good
guess,
team, really.
but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think. So they play what tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yep, 9:30 Eastern. Yeah, I feel like Makar hasn't had a great series. Um,
No.
Landeskog coming back has already been playing way better than like anyone would have expected. Got to see his goal. Oh yeah, I could show you those videos.
Yeah,
If you
we
wanna
didn't even talk about it, but
if you wanna do that, or if I make the thing, either way. But yeah, I'd have to prepare that, get the videos, send them, or actually I guess they're on Google Photos, so I could show you some of those. I haven't looked over any of them, but um, it was a loud building. Like when Landeskog scored, it was the loudest I've ever like at any hockey game I've ever been to. It was crazy. And even like after that goal during intermission, which was I don't know how long after the goal, like a while, it was still just so loud, just everyone talking and like random Landy chants just breaking out.
yeah,
Like such a fun atmosphere.
I mean that's pretty much how it felt for the Ovi goal. Of course, like we had some really cool goals that we got to see this season. We have been very blessed to see some historic goals this
Hmm.
year and experience what it's like firsthand because it was really quite cool. I feel like I don't know. Maybe it was a little bit louder for you because I'm sure there were some Islanders fans who didn't care
Mm.
about the Ovi record and they're just like like the Capitals scored, you know. Like of course I think if it was in Capital One the place would have exploded, but yeah, pretty cool.
I mean, obviously didn't get like you. I didn't get the Landy goal on video.
I figured as much. That that would have been tough. I'm still surprised that I got it because I almost missed it. But I was trying to get some OV shots.
Oh, then the other thing. So after the game, he was obviously like the post game interview, and the cheering was so loud that like they just like couldn't hear them, and then they just like gave up on the interview. Pretty funny.
Like, you know what? I think we know what you're feeling.
After the goal, and then they were showing the replay, so I didn't get like how loud it was, but this was like the Landy chants.
There's definitely an energy. It's ceaseless too. Like, oh my god, they just ramped it up.
Yeah, I just like did not stop.
That's awesome.
And then I'm also gonna
Pretty cool.
go to. I've always wanted to check out the like on the Tivoli quad where like I haven't actually seen it this year, but they used to like pan to the fans there. Like I mean, they have the Maple Leaf Square and all the like
The
different
Jets
places to
have
go play off.
one.
But,
Yeah,
like
Rogers Place
it's
has
the
that big
Avalanche
one.
version of that. So I'm like, I want to go like see what that's all about. So I'm gonna
Yeah, that
go
would be cool.
go tomorrow, and hopefully that'll be a good time. Big Avs win.
Did you end up going to the Game 5 in like the virtual game in Ball Arena? Or were you like talking about doing that?
No.
Oh, okay.
But maybe that'll be next series.
Well, there you go.
Got to check all the boxes, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
that was supposed to
the
be
one on
interesting.
the quad should be fun because they have a couple screens set up and it's just a party. So
Yeah, that sounds fun. And then it's like, oh, hopefully we win the game too.
I mean they are heavy favorites for that game. So hopefully.
Which, I mean, yeah, I think home team, like the way that they play at home is just completely different. So yeah, should be a fun one.
You know the Sens are favorites too for tomorrow. Or
Of course,
tomorrow.
absolutely they are. Yeah, it is tomorrow.
The Leafs have got to be for Game 7 though. If there's a Game 7.
I don't know. They lost
Betting
3
wise.
straight.
Yeah.
That would be a tough one though. Oh, I got the Ottawa game. That one's still 0-0.
That's that series.
Charge. Yeah, so let's talk about the Vegas series then, who is also playing tomorrow.
Not the sweep as I predicted.
No, not quite. Minnesota has definitely put up a fight for sure, and Gifford and I have been talking about the last 2 games. I would say Minnesota has not gotten a great shake as far as officiating goes. Like Game 4, the officiating was just terrible. A lot of weird call, like things that Vegas got away with, and a couple things that Minnesota got away with, and then just like other weird non-call calls, makeup call, like all the classic hits. So that was tough. And then mentioned Minnesota gets the overturned goal, and so they don't end up winning that game. Vegas wins in overtime. So two back-to-back overtime goals, and actually that's the second overtime playoff goal for Brett Howden, and he leads the Vegas Golden Knights, like the whole franchise, with
franchise history.
Overtime playoff goals, which is like it's crazy. And there's some big names that are not on that list. Like I was like, oh, is like Marchessault, and the other's like, nope. And Eichel hasn't scored an overtime playoff goal either. So there's a couple other names like Pacioretty wasn't on there. I'm like, man, got some strange depth pieces that get it done, but it's cool. I'll take it anyway, as long as you get the win. So they're trying to win the series tomorrow night in Minnesota. I think they are the better team. I think they don't have the playoff yips like other teams do generally. So I feel pretty good about their chances. And I did predict Vegas wins in 6. So that would be nice. But then in the next series I predicted they lose to LA. So we'll see how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I
mean, I don't really have much to add on this series.
You haven't watched any of it.
They've been late games.
Yeah. I can understand why you were opting out of this one, especially because you're not rooting for the team that's generally winning the games, and you'd much rather watch the Oilers series. So
Yeah, that too.
understandable.
One.
But don't worry, we've got a couple people here at BLHP that are keeping track of the Vegas series for you. So
yeah, I'm like, I don't need to watch this. Brendan will take care of.
I'll fill you in on
yeah.
on the juicy details or lack thereof. But yeah, not a whole lot to really discuss. Like I just think Vegas is doing what they need to do now. They're stepping up. So yeah, hopefully just a nice clean win on Thursday. Nobody gets injured, and we'll see maybe if the Kings series goes to 7, they get a little bit more time for rest. But
yeah,
that's all I got.
so Oilers
as we shift to that series.
Oilers lead 3-2.
Going back to Edmonton.
Edmonton, they are the favorite to win that game. The lucky harmonica grandmas did not help the Kings secure another home victory the other night.
No.
And another
Frost goal.
Oh. Wait, I have 2 commercials playing right now.
No, Frost.
Oh, Frost. Okay.
Yeah.
PWHL. That's your job.
Yep. We're keeping tabs on everything tonight.
But yeah, I guess you could call it a comeback win. The other night, the Kings were up 1-0, and then the Oilers go out and 4-3. But it was really the game before that was the big comeback. It was 2-0 Kings, 3-1 Kings, and then the third period comeback, 2 goals from Evan Bouchard, and then the power play goal in overtime from Draisaitl. So yeah, I mean, I feel like it seemed like it was all Kings early on in the series with the 2-0 lead, but now 3 straight for Edmonton, and they can secure the series tomorrow night.
I mean, gotta be a big reason is they're not allowing 6 goals a game anymore because Calvin Pickard is in the net. Like, he's just so much more stable. Like, he's not great. Like, I don't think he's gonna give you like a bunch of saves above expected, but he's gonna do what he needs to do for the most part. Hopefully, he bails you out once or twice. Like, that's what they need right now, and so far it's working. They're scoring enough goals where they're making it through.
Yeah, you don't need a positive saves above expected. You just don't want a negative one. So they're like,
right.
All right, we're just like lower ceiling and a higher floor, just like right in there.
Yeah. It's just too scary with Skinner. Like, you just don't know what you're gonna get from him, and oftentimes it's not what you would like. So, I think it's the right call, and I picked the Kings. I do think Vegas will have a better chance against Edmonton than they would against LA. I just think we match up a little bit better against them. Obviously, we played them both in the playoffs, and we've beaten them both, but it's a different story every year. So who knows what we have again.
Matchup.
We got to beat Minnesota first.
The matchup, and it's also a different story this year.
Yeah. Finally. Or finally not, I guess, because
That's true.
Edmonton might just freaking win for the 4th straight year, and LA's like, I mean, they looked the best that they've looked in a while this regular season to me, and in games 1 and 2, of course. So, I don't know what they have to do, but they gotta change something. Lost 3 straight.
So should be interesting. Big night of hockey tomorrow night as well. So I mean, I guess they're all kind of big games to get this late in the series. So yeah, all 3-2 series games tomorrow. So maybe we see 4 Game 7s. Who knows?
We won't be getting 8, but we still could get 7 as of right now. Although again, not looking good for Montreal. Still haven't scored. I think that's all of the series.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, we will know a lot more next week. I don't know if everything will be decided. It'll depend on when we record and everything. But I'd imagine we will probably know the outcomes of all the games by next week. And then we keep rolling. I mean, half of them are gone, and now we start to see the intensity even more. The penalties called will start to diminish quickly. It's like, oh yeah, no, the scoring isn't really that, or the penalties called isn't really that much different. And then it's like, well, actually, it's just in round one that it ramps up, and then after that, they're like, okay, yeah, we don't call anything. Generally, it seems like that's how it goes.
And I guess to wrap up, a couple shout outs to the people in the Bread Loves Hockey podcast bracket challenge that still have perfect brackets. We got Gifford, my dad, Zane, Owen, and Zach.
Way to go. Yeah, I do not have that, but I've got 10 points. Everybody else has 13, and unfortunately Bree stuck with 0 because she did
And
not pick.
Chandler.
Oh yeah, Chandler as well. I didn't scroll all the way. I hate how this app works on the desktop because the scroll is like in two different places and it scrolls the wrong thing all the time. Ugh, not my favorite.
Yeah, it's not great.
But yeah, we don't have a whole lot of information on those. Like, we'll obviously know more about who's looking good for winning that after the first round concludes.
Florida scores to make it 3-2.
Oh boy! Oh, Gustav Forsling. Yes. Finally, he's on the board. That's good for the guy that's also in the league or at the top of the leaderboard because he had Forsling. Interesting. I guess that's what we got for the playoffs. I mean, we could go on. We could talk a lot about it, but I think we've saved up a couple big news items from last week that we couldn't get to, so we'll shift gears here. Where are we shifting? What gear?
Let's talk about some. Oh, I guess we already talked about the Hagel suspension, Ekblad suspension. Get rid of that. We got a couple coaching, not quite changes yet, but was Sullivan technically fired or just not rehired? I don't know. But Mike Sullivan,
I think it was like a mutual termination thing.
yeah. So he's no longer the coach of the Penguins, and Rick Tocchet is no longer the coach of Vancouver. We talked about Tocchet last week, how they hadn't decided yet about, well, they didn't re-up the 1 year option or whatever, and they didn't know what the future would hold. But he will not be returning to the Canucks. And now there's a chance that Mike Sullivan could be the next coach of the Boston Bruins. But he's still the favorite for the Rangers, because I think we talked about that too, how he was the favorite before he was even let go of the Penguins organization. So we will see where they end up, but I'm sure they will both get jobs next year if they want them.
Are you rooting for Sullivan to come to the Bruins, or you just thought that was what was going to happen? Or is
I'd be fine with that. Like, as far as available coaches, unless you go with like some young guy, but that was kind of what Monty, not young, but like less experienced at the head coaching position. Like, Monty was kind of that guy for us. So, like, do we go in a different direction and go back to a veteran? Even Bruce Cassidy, like, wasn't really like a household name.
That's true.
So Tocchet and Sullivan both meet that criteria. Joel Quenneville as well.
Yeah.
Laviolette,
yeah. I don't think that would be great, but
I mean, I'd rather have Tocchet or Sullivan over the other two, but
yeah.
I guess we'll see what they decide.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we mentioned it, but Sullivan is McAvoy's father-in-law. So a little connection there, and he's coached the Bruins before, so it's part of it. But yeah, there's a lot of vacancies now, and we'll see if they all get just shuffled or if some of them don't get hired, and some new coaches get brought in. I hope we see a couple of new faces, maybe some NCAA coaches. I don't know. It would be nice to just get a little bit of variety, and I think some of these coaches probably don't need to come back. Like I don't think Tortorella really needs to be coaching in the league anymore, but who knows? More off-season
say
discussion.
that Cap scored again. Rangers' chances grow larger to acquire David Carl as two teams now withdraw from considerations.
Okay.
Because he said he wasn't going to join the Blackhawks, David Carl. And he also said Don Sweeney said that he was looking for a coach with some form of NHL exposure as an important criteria.
Oh well,
That
that rules him out.
Yeah.
Denver University head coach for a long time and has been successful. So, yeah, he's been in the rumor mill the last couple of years, but nothing has happened. And again,
there's another tweet saying that the league's top coaching prospect will likely sit out another hiring cycle. So who knows? Probably the most likely outcome again.
Why don't we shift gears to the PWHL a little bit, because we have neglected them a little bit recently. They were on the break for the Worlds event, which Team USA ends up winning in overtime against Team Canada. So that was cool. Obviously, he's an American, and then so they just came back to finish up the regular season on Saturday. There are, so the Frost and Charge are playing right now, and then there's 3 games on Saturday, and that's it for the regular season. So a lot of important games, of course. There's 2 more playoff spots and 3 teams left. Minnesota, Ottawa, and Boston all still looking to clinch their spot. Meanwhile, New York has been eliminated, and so now they're on the gold plan to try to win the most games or get the most points at this stage and secure the number 1 pick, which they already got last year. So we'll see what happens there.
So the way that works is like since they're eliminated first, they get a head start on getting points, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And is there one team that you think is most likely to be the other eliminated? There's only 2 teams eliminated, right?
Yeah, it's 4. Yeah, 4 out of 6 make it.
So who's the? I guess the Frost are at the bottom, 38 points, 1 point ahead of the Sirens. Okay.
Yeah, Minnesota and Ottawa do have two more games to play, but obviously they're playing right now. So this game will be a big test, a regulation win for the Frost, who are up 1-0 right now. I think they're in the second intermission. So that'll be a big determining factor. They would not quite pass Ottawa, but so they might need some help from
How many games
Boston.
Are there, did you say, in the season?
There's each team plays 30 games.
Okay, so just one more game for everyone except the game happening tonight.
Yeah. So
I imagine the Frost would have to win this game to not get eliminated.
I think that's true. They probably need a regulation win.
They're 4 points behind.
So they would need that, and then or maybe they could get like an OT win, like 2 OT wins or something. Like if Ottawa gets no points, I don't know. I think the one website that I was using for the NHL playoffs did not have PWHL scenarios.
It's looking like the Frost are the least likely to make it at this point.
Yep, and they won the inaugural Walter Cup, so...
Yeah, and then fired their coach.
Well, that was a whole other thing, yeah. That that situation was so strange and hopefully does not repeat. But it's all
They
under
have
the same
the
ownership group, so it's not like it's a weird ownership like issue, which is good, I guess.
Yeah,
It's
instead
just
of the
like
President's
strange.
Trophy curse, where like they're less likely to win the cup, it's just the Walter curse, where you win the Walter Cup and then you just your team just
You just
goes to
lose.
last place.
Yeah, they could end up last place if they don't win tonight and New York passes them.
Yeah, I guess the banking points while eliminated doesn't really help unless you're eliminated really early. They have like 2 games to get points.
Yeah, they really didn't have many opportunities. So it might be like, yeah, we got one regulation win, and that was enough to win the draft lottery
Yeah,
because of
I
how
guess it
tight
helps
everything was.
if you're really really bad and get eliminated like early on, and then it's still something your fans can root for.
Yeah,
It's kind of a fun rule.
yeah, it does make it worthwhile to go to a home game for that team and like root for them to win because you're not because normally you're like we got eliminated, like all right, let's just tank for our pick, but it's like no, actually we want to rally for our pick.
Yeah,
So it is fun. I haven't been able to make it out to a Sirens game. They're not like the most convenient for me to get to. I mean, I go to plenty of NHL games, but
hmm
um, I will definitely get to a PWHL game at some point. Playoffs probably not happening this time around, especially since the Sirens aren't in it. But yeah, it'll be cool to go one time. And then of course, the big news coming out. So we knew about this a little bit last week, but reporting now, and we did get some new news today that the league officially is expanding to Vancouver and Seattle, which was the rumor for a while. We had seen the announcement about Vancouver first, and then officially today they had the announcement about Seattle, which again, worst kept secret kind of thing. But now the word is out there. We have some colors, I guess, to represent the clubs, but we don't have any team names or any details on that as of right now. We do know where the teams are going to be playing, though. Um, Vancouver, they're playing. I don't remember the name, but I know it's like a pretty big building, and they will be the primary tenant for that building, which is a first for the PWHL, which is pretty cool. Um, Definitely be fun to like have just you know Vancouver, whatever the nickname is, branding like throughout the building rather than like yeah we play here, but we also it's the Minnesota Wild's building, not the Frost, so we don't have like a ton of Frost stuff everywhere. So
hmm
yeah, it'll be cool to have that for them. Um, and then Seattle was announced today, and they will be playing at Climate Pledge Arena, and they will be having practice at the Kraken like Iceplex or whatever like the Kraken practice facility is. So they will be working like directly with the Kraken organization on those things. But yeah, pretty cool. It'll be it'll be interesting to see how well it's supported there. I mean, I think the attendance was pretty good for the takeover tour, and obviously once they have their own team, more Seattle fans will obviously show up.
definitely. And I'm hoping with the early-ish announcement, like they are expecting, so they did it now so that they have time to have like the team names and jerseys and everything ready to go for the start of next year. Like it's not like a Utah situation.
Yeah, and it would stink if we finally got the brands for the six clubs, and then the two expansion franchises. It's like, yep, we're back to the word mark and
And
generic logo. Yeah, I don't think that'll happen though. I think they'll be ready to go, but we
yep,
just don't have
got
that quite yet.
a little more travel going forward for these teams now with the two out west, but it makes sense, like we talked about, to have the two expansion teams be near each other. So like you just make this trip and however many times a season, and it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, and it probably wasn't gonna happen, but like if there was any chance that a Western women's hockey league like was starting to form before the PWHL got there, like you know, you wouldn't want to deal with another rival league situation. Like they've gone through this before,
Yeah.
so I think it is kind of clever on their part. Like, okay, we are going to be global. Like we are the women's, like the professional women's hockey league. Like that's it. We're not doing this again. We're not doing you know, um, I don't remember the the two leagues now. I get, you know what? That's good though. That's good. Let's get them out. Let's get them out of there. It's just PWHL.
Was it PWL?
There, I don't know. I don't
Um,
I
it doesn't
don't
matter.
recognize that one. I think wasn't there one with like an F in it, like a federation one. I don't know.
I'm sure we'll put it in the edit.
Somebody will look it up. Me. But yeah, it's exciting. And we'll see if they change the playoff format. There's still a lot of details, obviously, to come. And we'll report alongside the information being released. But yeah, it's fun. They also haven't talked about how the expansion, like drafting, like how the player pool will work. I don't think there's a major concern with talent pool like immediately dropping off. I mean, there were only six teams, so there's a lot of really good players that haven't gotten a chance to play. So I don't think that's going to be an issue for a long time.
One of them was the Premier Hockey Federation.
There we go.
PHF. And I don't know, Canadian Women's Hockey League, if that was the other one.
That doesn't sound like the main one. Oh, Gensel scored. Tied it back up.
Well,
I guess I shouldn't be the one reporting on that. Sorry, Dean.
I was reading something.
Oh, I know. That was too bad. Oops.
Bob should have had that one.
Bob, come on. Maybe Hellebuck was the pick after all. No, actually, Markstrom has been really good. Both the Canes goalies have been very good, of course.
Blackwood's been pretty good. Except
Blackwood's
for
been good. Yeah. But there've been a lot of goalies that have been injured, like a crazy amount, I think.
Yeah.
Montem, and like some of them, like I still don't know if we know all the details about some of them, like some of the injuries, because they kind of came out of nowhere. Like the Montembeau injury, I don't know what caused it. It didn't seem like they had a real answer during the broadcast, and then it's like, yep, he's gone. And Dobesh is still in net tonight. Zane was joking. He's like, he didn't know who he was. So it's like, yeah, you never know. It's pretty crazy being thrown in there. He played like 13 games in the regular season this season. And so here we go. And now he's playing a potential elimination game.
Mm-hmm.
I think who else has gotten hurt?
Anderson.
Who?
Freddie Anderson.
Oh yeah, Anderson. Yeah.
Run over. Which
But
he also didn't look like
he always
hit
gets
that
hurt.
hard, and then he kind of fell back, and then he got like.
He turtled.
Yeah.
Yeah. He unfortunately gets injured a lot, but this one, I mean, yeah, you got crashed into. Like, there's nothing that you can do about that.
Also, he missed a lot of time with like the whole blood clot thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was an unfortunate situation. So, Kochetkov was in there for a while, and now he's the starter at the moment. Thompson, I think, missed some time too, but he came back because I believe he's playing tonight. Trying to think if there's any other goalies. I felt like more than that, anyways.
you wrote it down, so I figured you'd be ready.
There might have also been a couple that like came in relief. Like there's been a lot of goalies that have been pulled, so other goalies have gotten time. Like Schmid played a little bit because Hill got pulled in one of the games. So maybe that was part of it. But just like we've seen a lot of goalies already in the playoffs, which over the last like 5-10 years, we've been straying away from using multiple goaltenders in the playoffs. Generally, there's been a couple teams that have been doing that, but most of the time you're not seeing that, which used to be a lot more common, I think, back in like the 80s and 90s, I guess.
It's funny too how Andre gets pulled, and then the next game Blackwood gets pulled.
Yeah, that is crazy. Very, very volatile. And I, again, wouldn't be surprised if the Avs win tomorrow.
So is it the Utah Mammoth or not?
Yeah, I think it is. It absolutely is, in my opinion.
We know if that was actually like... Well, I guess Utah would have come out and said if it was like photoshopped, right? Like,
so I read something earlier today about it, and Utah basically, like some spokesman for them, I don't remember what the position was, but they didn't answer the question directly about like, was this a mistake? Did this happen? Like, is this the name? They basically just said, we are on track to, reveal the name like in due time. Like, they basically just avoided it. So to me, that's like, okay, yes, you got it. Like we screwed up, and we're trying not to spoil it. Like, just protect the surprise.
If it wasn't going to be the Mammoth, it'd be like, yeah, someone just photoshopped this and posted it and it kind of blew up. Like, I don't know where this came from.
Yeah, or like, we have not made our final determination and that was an error or something like that. Yeah, like, if that's not who they were going with, because obviously they know by now. Like, they have to know by now. I know. It's freaking Zane. He's like, it's no HC, but it's okay. I'm like, I wanted to go nuclear, but I'm like, no, you know what? I won, so I'm not gonna go down that road. Hopefully, again, not officially confirmed.
No outlaw.
No outlaw. Yeah, outlaws would have been okay for me too. Like, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But
I mean, after Yeti was no longer possible, I think Mammoth was quickly the new favorite.
Yeah, I think a lot of people gravitated towards that. Like, okay, well, I think this is still prehistoric and fun, so I don't know if Yeti is prehistoric. I think it's just mythological, I guess. Mammoths were real. Yeah, Yeti, I don't think are real. I guess let's just pivot completely the podcast and just we'll just spend the rest of the episode talking about that.
Yeah.
But I am excited to get more details on that, finally see some branding and all that. Hopefully they have that ready by the draft. That's often what happens, especially if they win the lottery. Well, the lottery, they won't have the branding ready by then. Like, that's May 5th, I think? Or the 9th?
I think it was 5th or 6th.
I think it's the 5th.
Well, I don't know. Last I checked, they hadn't actually picked a day.
I believe they have selected a day.
May 12th. Oh, it's NBA.
Oh. I think it's the 5th. But yeah, they'll just put hockey club at that point. Like, they're not going to reveal it there. They're going to wait until they can like bring out the jersey and like, oh, and here's the Utah Hockey Club to reveal their new name. And,
It is May 5th.
Yeah.
Well, that'll make the Monday coming into next week a little more exciting.
Revenge of the 5th. Yeah, it is on ESPN, so I won't be able to tune in, but
Legally.
Right. Right. No comment on if I will watch it another way. But
Well, according to ChatGPT, it's borderline whether those websites are legal or not.
oh
So
yeah,
who's
yeah.
to say?
Who's to say for sure? Just that we
Yeah.
do not endorse the use of those potentially borderline illegal sites on this podcast. That's our official
Sure.
stance.
Mm-hmm.
Legally.
Legally, yes.
Yeah, but I am excited to see that. Obviously, Dean has a lot more invested in it than I do, and hopefully we get something exciting. The Sharks have the best chance again. They won the lottery last year for first overall, and they are still eligible to win it this year. The lowest they can draft is third, and you're going to get a pretty good player at third.
Try to stim the lottery again, see where the Bruins end up.
Like, yeah, let's do it.
Here we go. Second, we'll take it.
Oh, so they win the other lottery because there's two. So it's two lotteries. It's a lottery for the first pick and a lottery for the second pick. So yeah, that would be a lottery win. That's pretty cool. Who was first? Did you save it?
Sharks still.
Ah,
No one else moved. So Sharks stay, and then obviously Chicago, Nashville, Philly all moved down one as Boston moved up.
hey, that's don't use all your luck in one place, I guess. But
Yeah.
maybe now you just got rid of second overall and first overall is still on the table.
There we go.
We'll take it.
We have the final Dean's Den update of the winter season. Last we spoke, it was TNT versus Icy Shots. Icy Shots had to win twice, and they did win the first game, but TNT wins 6-4 to win the
Ooh.
whole series.
Wow.
And then we go into summer this weekend. 10-game season, single elimination playoffs, right back at it. Got some, just like every new season, got some people leaving, some new people joining. So we'll see how the new guys are, get the chemistry going, and
Do it all
see
over again.
how we do.
Oh, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've missed the coverage over the last couple of weeks because the Puck Monkeys had not advanced, but we get
Had other
to be
things
excited again.
preoccupy us.
Yeah, I think there's more invigorating hockey to be watched. Not that we don't love the live barn clips of Dean's passes, but yeah, I think we're more interested in the NHL at this moment.
Understandable.
I think it's fair. And PWHL, of course, that game, the Frost are up 2-0, so making things interesting. Looks like it'll probably come down to Saturday. And then I don't know exactly. I don't know if they've announced yet when the first playoff games are. Doesn't look like it. Probably wait until they know who's in and who's not.
Nope, Florida scores.
Oh, that's big. That's big.
Sam Bennett.
Oh, enemy number one.
Mm-hmm. 4-3 with 4:47 left in the second. The Caps are going into the third period right now, up 3-0.
I think they got that one locked down,
Mm-hmm. I'd say so.
but I don't think we'll have that in time for the rest of this episode.
Wow, just beat Vasilevsky clean.
Was it a regular even strength? Yeah,
Rich
unassisted. Damn,
face-off dot.
you gotta have those if you're Vasi.
Our side. 3 goals, 2 assists in the series.
Excuse me.
Clutterbuck retired. He didn't play this year, but he officially retired.
His announcement video was kind of funny. I don't know if you saw it, but he's like, I don't really know how to do this kind of thing. Like, so, yeah, I guess that's it. Like, he had like a 40-second thing, and he's like, yeah, I guess we're done here. Like, yep, I'm done. So,
Yeah.
congratulations to him, longtime New York Islander, and another sad one for Zane to lose. I know he's been a big fan of that fourth line that had been around for a while. I mean, they've shifted a couple pieces. I know, like a couple random different guys, Komarov and Matt Martin is his favorite player. So those two guys both retiring this year.
Do
But
we know
new
why
era.
he didn't play this year? He just been no one wanted him or what?
Yeah, I don't know if he was like a unsigned free
No.
agent or
Yeah.
if he was injured and
He
he was
played all
like,
82 games last year, so it'd be weird to like then be injured the next year, you know?
yeah, yeah. I don't remember him like getting injured in the playoffs or anything like that. So probably yeah, just unsigned, which is yeah, still good long career, very physical player, a fan favorite for sure. But all the best to him in retirement as we get some of these veterans start to shed off more of these older guys and get the young blood in every year. And we'll see more of that, of course, with the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And this has also been going on for a little bit. The World Juniors trial is finally underway for the 2018 sexual assault case that they have had a couple of mistrials for. I think there was an issue with a juror, maybe. They deemed like it was impartial or something, and then they had another day where the courtroom session like ended early because of how hot the courtroom was, like physically temperature. It was like very hot for some reason. I don't know what the deal is with that, but yeah, we're not getting a ton of details on it, but that is underway. I think we did get some more like specifics about what happened, but I don't think that part of it really needs to be shared here. But we're definitely keeping tabs on it. It's going to be a long trial. I think they said like approximately 6 to 8 weeks. So yeah, we'll get details loosely over the course of the next couple months here.
Yeah, so obviously nothing to report yet, but when we do find out, we will let everyone know. I did hear that like some of the like other NHL players are gonna be asked to like, I guess stand trial isn't the word, but like go up and
Testimony or whatever.
testimonies, yeah. But
Yeah.
that would be all like remote, so it wouldn't affect any of like them missing potential playoff games or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I did see that a list of names. Most like a lot of the players are in the playoffs right now. Some of them have been eliminated, and I think there were like a handful that were not playing in the NHL. So yeah, that's happening, and yeah, we'll keep you posted. Rick Westhead, of course, has been the lead journalist here providing updates, and it has been immensely important work that he's been doing, so we appreciate him for continuing to keep folks updated even when it wasn't like the hot news item anymore to be discussing.
'Cause he's there, right, at the trial.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's what I heard. So like, he's the guy to follow for the up to date news on this.
Yep, definitely check him out. And then yeah, so there was another issue with Panarin as well. That was also a potential sexual harassment or sexual assault case.
Yeah, and it's weird that they, I guess concerning is a better word, that they just like happened in December of 2023, and it's like just coming up now. Like they just
Oh
try
yeah.
to keep it under wraps in the organization, which is similar to how Chicago did it, which don't love to see.
No, I don't love that at all.
Eventually coming out.
Um, do we know
So it's like,
anything about like potential ramifications or?
no, I mean it was alleged, and then there was a settlement between I think Panarin and also Panarin and the woman, and then also the organization and the women, I think. So
Was she,
um
was she? I think she was like a Rangers employee or like a staff member or something like that.
yeah.
I don't remember in what capacity she was with the club. Um, but yeah, that's too bad. Hey, the Canadians scored.
And it did.
Emil Heineman.
And yeah, the settlement included a non-disclosure agreement and no admission of wrongdoing by Panarin.
Hmm.
So an MSG spokesperson said the matter has been resolved.
Which I mean, I guess so. And maybe they were hoping like the way that the process worked is that they were, yeah, if they knew that there was a path forward where they could avoid it being in the public, they were going to try to do that, and they were working on it. Like that's hopefully that's what was happening, is that even though this event, like the event took place a while ago, they've been just working on coming to a solution. I mean, it's still not a great situation, of course, and
Mm-hmm.
a settlement doesn't necessarily mean that the problems for the victim are like absolved or anything like that, but it's obviously they're settling for it. So I guess that's the end of that saga, and hopefully we don't hear anything more about that type of behavior, or
Yeah.
well, really
Also,
more
back
like
in
that it doesn't happen rather than we don't hear about it. But
Sure. Well, because also back in 2021, Panarin stepped away from the team for personal reasons after a Russian newspaper reported claims that he was involved in a physical altercation with a woman in Latvia, and then the Rangers had denied this and called it an intimidation tactic. So like he doesn't have the best track record either. But
no, I think that's just a trend with sports figures, unfortunately,
hmm
which hopefully goes away over time. Um, I don't know. I think I guess we'll probably wrap up here. Again, we're kind of in a limbo phase right now where we've only had one series wrap up, and so we really won't have more to say until we know officially what the matchups are for the second round, and how we're feeling about that. And then, I mean, we're not going to change our brackets or anything, but we will update our hockey pool and all that.
yeah, and even the Florida series should be done. Well, actually, let's see, Game 7 for Florida would be Sunday. So the last 3 games would be, well, I guess the Caps one probably isn't going 7, but they did score, so who knows? And the Blues Jets would also be Game 7 on Sunday, so that would be the last of any of these first round matchups.
Okay, yeah. So we'll probably be discussing second round games already by the time we're chatting with you next week.
Mm-hmm.
So look forward to that. But yeah, thanks for tuning in this week. We actually chatted with a good number of our guests last night, but
Oh, we forgot to record this in the new channel.
oh my God, we did forget. That's
Oh well,
right. I just
my
instinctively I'm
fault. I
like,
called you.
oh yeah, you called me. I mean, I was
You wouldn't
gonna.
have remembered either.
No, I wouldn't have. I was about to click when when you called me. So yeah, we do have a new Discord channel. It's not open to the public right now. I don't know if we're doing that, but we just streamlined things a little bit, and maybe that's something that we'll look towards doing in the future.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's a little update, and I don't know. I guess that's it. That's episode 91 in the books.
There'll be a lot to discuss next week.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody. Hopefully, we got somebody else with us to chat next week. Maybe Owen, excited about his Sens moving on.
Reverse sweep.
Or really, any of our guests would be excited to talk about the Senators moving on.
Yeah.
Maybe even Justin, that the Blues won. Oh, that would be something, wouldn't it? We'll see. Thanks, guys. Take care.
See ya. I just don't look at you at all. I just have my notes and then the big game. I'll do this.
You're going to want to look at me, Dean.
Oh, of course. All right, now I can just see your head.
That's all you need.